Here we are, approaching a small town called Chama in northwestern New Mexico, just a few miles south of the Colorado state line. And today, we are going to get high in the Rockies as we explore the southwestern corner of the Centennial State. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. It is starting to look like Colorado, isn't it? Well, here we are. We just crossed the state line. We're still about 2 hours away from our destination, but I have a feeling it is going to be a beautiful drive. By the way, the Colorado, for the first time in Colorado. Also a first for Minnie the trailer. As you probably know, I've been to Colorado before, but not with my own rig. We're starting to see some truly amazing peaks, and you know how I get when I see mountains. As we arrive by Pagosa Springs, we are going to turn west. By the way, we should totally stop by Pagosa Springs. There's tons of things to do besides the hot springs. There's hiking, dining, breweries. One of these days. But not today. Here's Chimney Rock National Monument, which I'm also going to save for a future date. Right now, the goal is to make it to Durango. Ever since our 2014 Four Corners road trip, I've been meaning to visit Durango and take the Durango Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. That would be really cool. Here we are, Durango. We're gonna go down to the campground, drop the trailer, and then come back into town. There's the narrow gauge railroad to the right. Wouldn't it be cool if the steam locomotive passed next to us right now, on its way to or from Silverton? In any case, here we are. Well, here we are, the Durango North KOA. Got me some firewood. And it's pretty nice, as KOAs usually are. Minnie is still filthy, by the way. Then I think I'm gonna be kind of dumping uphill here, but that's usually the case with Minnie the trailer. The campground, very family oriented. They even have an ice cream parlor, a pizzeria, laundry, which I'm gonna have to do tonight. Here they have this observation deck where you can sit by the river. And this would be the Animas River. Very animated, the Animas River today. Let's go into town, but let me tell you, I'm already a little peeved. As I was getting my setup ready, one of the employees came knocking on my door and told me I wasn't allowed to use my Wi-Fi hotspot because, according to them, it would interfere with their brand new state-of-the-art Wi-Fi network. I gave her the benefit of the doubt and tried to connect to their network, and big surprise, it didn't work at all.
More about that later, but what I was hoping would be a productive work night isn't looking so great if I am to abide by their bizarre and potentially illegal rule. Check it out! There's the train! You know I am really into trains, especially steam engines, so it would be really cool to ride it tomorrow. We'll see. Durango here seems nice. Lots of shopping, horse-drawn carriage rides, very touristy.
There it is.
Yes, this is the narrow gauge railroad track, and what do we see there in the distance? It's the steam engine coming this way. Such perfect timing. This is so cool. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in action from so close. Steamworks Brewing Company. Sure, why not?
Steamworks Brewing Company. It's called the Third IPA. Crazy busy in there, and if you want to get a table, there's a long line. I just had a quick IPA at the bar, and now I'm gonna go back to the campground.
And that's all we're gonna see of Durango. The issue with the internet at the campground really killed my exploring mood. In fact, I think I'm gonna ask for an early departure. But first, burgers!
Starting to look good. We're just gonna melt this cheese a little bit here, and then we're gonna eat. Decided to come back inside to eat them inside, and I don't know. I'm gonna have two, and I'm gonna save the other two, and I'm gonna put some Mateo salsa on them. Whew. Well, good morning, everybody. We are departing here almost at the crack of dawn. And let me tell you what happened. In this campground, apparently, they have this rule that you are not allowed to use your own hotspot device for internet. Apparently because they spent all this money in this new state-of-the-art Wi-Fi system that, big surprise, doesn't really work. Anyway, last night I went by the office, tell them about it. And they all, they're like, I told them, I'll leave early. Oh no, we cannot refund you your money. And this and that, and our Wi-Fi is awesome. So, I told them, just beware, I'm gonna tell all my viewers to be aware that if you are working from the road, this is not a good campground for you. Oh, he went ballistic. He went like, you're threatening me. And this and that, and it escalated, and then his son came out and he's like, stop bothering my 70-year-old father. And I'm like, you know what, I'm leaving. And they pretty much told me to get out, which gladly I'm doing. He even at some point mentioned, that's why we don't like your kind here. Troublemakers. I really hope he was referring to people who work from the road and need internet. Oops, I almost made a wrong turn. I made that wrong turn last night.
Continue on County Road 250 for 3 miles.
I made the wrong turn again. Anyways, regardless, let's forget about it.
Continue on County Road 250 for 4 miles.
So congratulations, Durango North Riverside KOA. You are now #1 in my list favorite campgrounds. And one of those places I hope I never have to return. Also, today happens to be Sunday. Video day. Today I need the internet. If it was, like a random Wednesday, okay, let's be off grid. Like tonight, I'll probably boondock at the Valley of the Gods, and that's pretty much off grid. Anyways, let me follow the Google lady here because I'm obviously in the wrong place. Yeah. Cool rapids down there. Let's just enjoy the ride. I'm gonna put gas, and then we're gonna do the $1 Million Highway with Minnie Tini in tow. The Pinkerton Hot Spring. And I had seen this from the road yesterday, and I just wanted to check it out, see what it was. Oh yeah, it is. It is warm to the touch. Very cool. And the sun is about to rise behind that mountain. But you know what I'm gonna do? It is Sunday, so I'm gonna share my new video on all the social networks, and then we continue.
It is really a shame what happened because otherwise it was a pretty nice campground. But that draconian rule and the owner's attitude left a very sour taste. By the way, I never got an apology or a refund for my second night, but moving right along, we are about to go on one of the most strikingly beautiful drives in North America. Really looking forward to this, and everything happens for a reason. Now I'm a full day ahead of schedule, travel-wise. By the way, we are going north here on US 550, following a somewhat similar route to that of the narrow gauge railroad, which unfortunately I'm obviously not gonna be able to ride today, but we'll be back one of these days to do that. For now, let's just enjoy a similar scenery here. And we have reached Cold Bank Pass, elevation 10,640 feet.
As we continue on the $1 Million Highway. Let's do it.
Technically, we are not really on the $1 Million Highway, not yet. That would be the segment between Silverton and Ouray, but the views are certainly $1 million worthy, I think.
Here we go, Molas Pass, almost 11.
This is amazing. I am totally in awe standing here before this alpine landscape.
There it is.
I just can't get enough of these views. Looks like there's boondocking down there.
So instead of staying at that campground, I probably could have boondocked somewhere around here on the side of the road. I just saw a big RV with slides out and everything, so they probably did overnight at that pullout.
And we can already see Silverton down there. Let's stop real quick here to get a better look.
Silverton.
There it is. Former silver mining camp, nowadays a National Historic Landmark.
Right next to that river, and that is the railroad. Wouldn't it be cool if a train came zooming by now, blowing the horn?
Let's go get a closer look, although we are not really gonna stop here today, except for a quick break. Yeah, today is more about the journey than the destination, although we are going to stop at Ouray, a little further north.
Isn't that a beautiful mountain? Wow. Anyways, nice and sunny now. We're gonna continue the journey on the $1 Million Highway. Apparently the main portion of the highway begins now from here north until Ouray. And I'm not really gonna stop at Silverton today.
Turn left for Reese Street, then turn left onto Reese Street.
What do you want? What do you mean, Reed Street? But Silverton. Oh, I guess the
Take
highway.
the second right onto East 7th Street, then turn right.
Okay, well, let's just drive through the town. I thought the highway was at the end of town. I guess not. So she's gonna keep complaining until I...
Take the next left onto West 8th Street, then turn left onto Reese Street.
But I happen to want to see the town, at least from the car, you know? The main thing I wanted to do on this trip was the $1 Million Highway. And had I stayed at the campground, maybe I would have stopped here, parked. But I'm with Minitini in tow, so...
Take the next left onto West 10th Street, then turn left onto Reese Street.
Seems to be a cute little town with lots of little shops and hotel, restaurant. I'm sure there's a couple of restaurants coming up. Lots of people boondocking everywhere. Well, very picturesque little town here, for sure. That's amazing, that mountain. Oh yeah, this is a really cool little town. We have to come back here. I have to come back with Ilya and then we'll explore a lot more. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Tombstone. You know, it's the same concept. They have dirt on top of pavement. It is probably the way. I bet you under this there's pavement.
Take the next right onto East 11th Street, then turn left onto Green Street.
All right, let's take $1 Million Highway. We've had enough fun for one day in this town at least. So that if an old Cruise
Continue
America,
on US 550 North for 23 miles.
if an old Cruise America can do it, so can I. Watch for rocks and wildlife, the sign says. We will.
sometimes you just gotta stop and take in the scenery. Alright, let's stop one more time. Check out these rapids. The roaring waters coming down from the mountain. Alright, let's continue. We are about to take on the most dangerous part of the $1 Million Highway here, Uncompahgre Gorge. Although we are going to have it easy. First of all, we've got perfect weather. Second, we are going north. Coming down south in the opposite direction, on the outside of the road, not for the faint of heart. There are no guardrails, no safety net. Nothing in between your vehicle and the precipice. Enjoy the ride. Here we are, Ouray! Hooray for Ouray, as they say.
You've arrived.
What a lovely town. No wonder it is called the Switzerland of America.
Here we are, Ouray, Colorado. I think we might be a little off level here, but we won't be here for long.
To call it picturesque would be an understatement. Nestled here in the San Juan Mountains, Ouray was originally settled by miners looking for silver and gold around 1875. Main Street here is actually a National Historic District, since most of these buildings date back to the late 19th century. Bucks Canyon there is supposed to be really cool with a waterfall, hiking trails, but I don't really feel like doing any long hikes. We might see another waterfall instead, which is much closer to town. Very touristy, and so far it seems like a lot of fun. I've been walking around for just a few minutes, and I've already seen several restaurants and, most importantly, at least 3 breweries. It is still kind of early for that though. The town is barely waking up. And this is what it looks like away from Main Street. I told you, there are breweries everywhere. One of these days, we're gonna come back and spend the night for sure. Well, they even have an opera house. The breweries and the restaurants, they all open in about an hour, and I'm kind of having a hard time choosing one. Oh, this one is open, and it seems really nice. They even have live music. Check it out, that's a really cool looking trailer going down the street. Well, the one parked is pretty cool too. What do you say we go for a little hike? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? A waterfall! Yeah, let's go check it out. Such a cool town.
Let's explore the town a little bit. By the way, this high altitude kind of getting me a little out of breath here. One of the back streets here. Beautiful town.
It is called Cascade Falls.
Let me tell you, maybe it's this high altitude, which is not that bad. I'm at 7,000 feet. Maybe it's that I haven't been really working out all that much lately. But I'm a little out of breath here. I mean, it's a pretty steep uphill. But I saw the falls from down there, and I wanted to see them up close. Very steep trail. I see people up there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the whole trail, only to the waterfall.
Of course, the one time I decided to leave the new GoPro in the trailer in the RV is the one time I have a great chance to do like a super slow motion of that waterfall. This is a town where I will definitely return at some point. So many trails in these mountains and the main street.
We're gonna do the whole trail next time, because...
Well, you know, we were just killing time, right? The brewery should be open by now. They have like swings at the bar. On the left-hand side. Called Kitchen Sink IPA. Alright, that was a very cool bar with the swings. Alright, let's get on the road again. Isn't this like the most picturesque little town? I think they call it the Switzerland of America. With good reason.
The town is slowly coming alive. After a nice strong Cuban coffee, we are now ready to conquer the West. That's a cool old Willys Jeep, isn't it? And here we are. We're gonna take State Route 62. By the way, this town Ridgeway seems pretty nice too.
Driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west. Driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west. Driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west. Driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west. Driving to the west. Driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west. Driving to the west.
Leaving these mountains behind, but we have more mountains ahead.
Driving through New Mexico, Arizona, even California. I'm gonna get my kicks on 66. The mountains and the desert are my fix. Driving to the west in my RV is where I wanna be. Driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west. Driving to the west, into the sunset. of sea level is my motto. Into the thin air, I might see a bear. Nothing like the West doesn't compare. Driving through the West in my RV is where I wanna be.
Getting windy out here.
What is that in the distance? Yep, that's where we're going.
Driving to the West. 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 Driving through the West. Driving to the West. Driving to the West. Driving to the West.
Yep, we're checking this one off the bucket list.
I'm riding in